top stories: a St. Michael home destroyed by fire, concern over marijuana use by Barbadian girls, and West Indies prepares to do battle with England. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, March 7th, 2014. I'm Natasha Beckles.
At Courts, every day we bring affordability, convenience, innovation, and style to over 1 million customers in 11 countries. From homes to communities, we are proud to make a difference in the lives of many across the region. Courts, bringing value home.
A home in Hines Hill, St. Michael was destroyed by fire this morning. Miranda Tate and her daughter Clover lost everything in the blaze, which occurred around 9 o'clock. Firemen brought the blaze under control within 15 minutes of reaching the scene, preventing other homes from suffering damage. Miranda, a vegetable vendor in Cheapside Market, says she had nowhere to stay, but she had relatives living in the area. The home, which was insured, had recently undergone repairs. 2 tenders responded to the fire. Director of the National Task Force on Crime Prevention, Cheryl Willoughby, has expressed concern about marijuana use by Barbadian girls. Speaking during a Girl Talk workshop this morning, she said drug prevention strategies had to be targeted to both males and females.
Girls, as I said from our research, are involved in the use of marijuana on a regular basis. Not only at home, but it's being done at school as well. Not only at home, it is being done at school. Hence, we have a responsibility not only to intervene by targeting the males, but we also have a responsibility to target females as well.
Tomorrow is International Women's Day, and a mentorship program for secondary school girls will be launched at Hilton, Barbados. It is a partnership between the Barbados Faces website, the Caribbean Center for Excellence for Youth Entrepreneurship, and the Caribbean Center of Excellence for Sustainable Livelihoods. 75 girls will be involved in the year-long program aimed at developing their talents and preparing them to contribute to the country, the region, and the world. Chairman of the Shareholder Governments of LIAC, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, says territories that benefit from the airline services need to step up and lend financial support, as the 4 shareholder governments cannot do it alone. Dr. Gonsalves, who is also the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was speaking to media after a shareholders meeting at the Hilton Barbados yesterday. Also in attendance were Prime Minister Frondell Stewart and Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Baldwin Spencer, representing the 3 major shareholders and Dominica, along with LIAC CEO and Chairman Dr. Jean Holder. LIAC currently services 21 territories with close to 1,000 flights each week, but only 4 of those countries contribute funds, and Dr. Gonsalves says it is not good enough.
We said that this refleeted would cost just over $100 million. $65 billion would be by way of loan to LIAC with a guarantee from the shareholder governments. That has happened. And we expected other governments to come on board, in addition to the 3 major shareholders. One other government capable to come under the law. So that we have had to bear the burden of capitalizing the difference between what we borrowed from the CBE and what the refleeted will cost.
Across the region, the European Union today announced a grant of about $3.3 million Barbados dollars to the regional security system. Head of the delegation of the EU to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Ambassador Michael Barford, said it was aimed at strengthening the capacities of law enforcement and border security personnel to address illicit drug trafficking in RSS member states. It is also intended to enhance existing rehabilitation projects in correctional facilities for drug offenders. In Guyana, a party for national unity says it will continue to push for police reform, proper training, and better pay to attract more qualified officers. The comments come as the police force prepares for the departure of both the commissioner and the assistant commissioner of police. APNU executive member Joseph Harmon said irrespective of who becomes the next commissioner, systems have to be put in place to produce men and women of quality.
Because what we believe is if you have a well-paid, well-equipped police force, public service, and all of these services, which are central services provided by the government, then you have a lessening of the reports about corruption and fraud and so on. But these people must be well paid, well trained. So this is what we are always looking for, an efficient, well-equipped police force for that matter.
German air carrier Condor is returning to Grenada. The company will be resuming flights to the Maurice Bishop International Airport after a 5-year absence. Grenada's Ministry of Tourism and Condor announced the new service at the ITB Travel Show in Berlin this week.
Well, you know, Grenada has been out of the European market for some time, and so we recognize how important the European market is, and the German market in particular. And so we've been pursuing Condor for the last little while now. We met them at Roots Conference in Las Vegas, and then we met again at the World Travel Market in London, and finally here at the ITB in Berlin we were able to seal the deal.
The new flights will begin on November 28, 2014, operating from November to April, and will be a so-called double-drop flight, going from Frankfurt to Grenada, then returning to Frankfurt via Barbados. The flights leave on Saturdays, returning Sunday mornings. Paraguay will host the 44th regular session of the General Assembly of the Organization of American States from June 3rd to 5th. The agreement was signed yesterday at a ceremony held at OAS headquarters in Washington, D.C. OAS Secretary General Jose Miguel N. Souza thanked the government of Paraguay and President Horacio Cartes for their generosity in offering their country as host and organizer of the annual meeting. The meeting was last held in Barbados in 2002.
The history, the legacy, the rivalry, the passion. We versus them. West Indies versus England. 3 T20s, March 9th, 11th, and 13th at the Mecca. We versus them.
In sport, hard-hitting Jamaican batsman Chris Gayle was in the nets this morning as the West Indies prepare to prove that they are indeed the World 2020 champions. Both the regional side and England held practice sessions at Kensington Oval ahead of Sunday's opening match in the 3-game series. Fresh from a 2-1 defeat in the 50-over form of the game, West Indies will be looking to rebound before what could very well be a capacity crowd. Scores of cricket lovers lined up outside the ticket office from early this morning to ensure they would be part of the action. Meanwhile, 45 children involved in the Sport for Life Barbados program were able to interact with the visiting English cricket team. Program Director Kathy Harper Hall says she was especially pleased with this staging of the 6-year-old program.
This type of interaction with the English cricket team will help them to boost their self-esteem, to let them feel a sense of worth, and especially since there's a Barbadian in the English cricket team, and Chris is going to be having a word with them a little later today. And all those are areas that we are looking at. We do everything to help to boost their self-esteem. A lot of them are emotionally challenged, socially challenged, educationally challenged, and they need this type of interaction, to help them to move forward.
The children will meet the West Indies team tomorrow. Sports was brought to you by We vs. Them, West Indies vs. England series. Jabari Williams will be the envy of many local football fans as he travels to England to see Manchester United play against Liverpool, free of cost. Today, Williams was announced the winner of the Starcom Network Football Fever 2014 program. He won airfare to Manchester, hotel accommodation, £200 spending money, and halfway line executive seats. The match will take place next Saturday at Old Trafford. Finally, want to wake up to the sound of bacon sizzling on the stove with its aroma drawing you out of bed? Well, there's an app for that. Oscar Mayer says it has created a bacon-scented app for the iPhone, developed by the Madison-based company's Institute for the Advancement of Bacon. The company says that to emit a small puff reminiscent of bacon, the user needs an external device that plugs into the headphone jack. The app itself produces the sound of bacon sizzling in a pan. Oscar Mayer says the aroma-producing device won't be sold in stores and that limited quantities are available. The company is giving away 4,700 devices beginning Thursday. And that's Nation News for March 7th. I'm Natasha Beckel.